Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Hope this reading finds you happy and healthy and enjoying your journey to becoming more and more yourself. Alrighty. In the past, we have the Ten of Swords. Feels like you're ending a very painful cycle. Feels like you're getting to the root cause of some type of painful way of existing. Okay, you're recognizing in the past that this environment is not for you. It's got the overkill 10 swords. It definitely has that et tu brute, overkill. I think you got the hint. I think whatever cruelty, disrespect, it's reaching a fever pitch in the past, making it very clear that you're not moving forward with this person, these people, this environment. This is not your happily ever after. I think you thought that these people, this group was someone you would go the distance with, but it is being made very clear by the people around you that you're not welcome in this environment. It's cruel. It feels like you're being handled. It feels like disrespect. It feels like lack of support. As I'm tuning into person, environment, the people in the environment that are discarding you, it feels like you're being run out of town. In the most painful way possible. And it feels purposeful, this disrespect and this painful discard. There's a feeling that someone has deemed you as unsuccessful, used up. There's nothing left valuable. Jeez. The way it feels like there's a person and a group. There's someone specifically that it feels like at one point was very close to you, and the point that I'm tuned into in the past, the things they're saying about you are so cruel. They lack empathy, care. They see no value in you. They see you as the problem, that they would be successful, the environment, everybody's lives would be improved if you're not there, if you're run out of town. This feels very confusing. Like a tower's not showing up, but it feels like a tower, like your reality is collapsing. And you're waking up to a very new reality where you have to protect yourself from the very people who you thought were on your side. This feels like this, not to make light at this at all, because this feels devastating while you're going through it. These aren't your people. There's a need to protect yourself. I think this is a brutal awakening. Holy crap, some tides have turned. You're being perceived as a Klingon, ineffectual, a problem. If you were gone, then everything would be better. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm saying that's the story. I think if you knew what was said about you behind closed doors, it's such a amplification, exaggeration, partial telling of the story. But nobody's talking to you. They're talking about you. But nobody is including you in this. Feels like it's this environment and the people in it have made up their mind. You do not belong here. We need to make this as painful as possible. I'm like seeing pitchforks. I don't think you were run out of town with pitchforks and torches, but it feels that way. It feels like where you once were at home, and these were at some point your people, your person, you are now having to defend yourself against the very people. It must be so confusing going through this, because what is my reality? What's going on? Yeah, there's action. It's cruel. It lacks empathy. You might have even had a child. If you have children, there might have been a child even turned against you. So feeling a lot of betrayal, hurt, woundedness. What's interesting is it looks like they're trying to create as painful as a discard as possible. It feels like they've set up some type of story about you, and they're setting a trap for you, so you will be blindsided, confused, and act in an erratic way that somehow the way you react, they could say, see, proof in the pudding. Someone set you up to destabilize you purposefully, to get you in your shadow, to get you to fold, to go away, they expected you to fold, to turn in, to implode, because of the lack of opportunities, the lack of choices. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that you didn't have other opportunities. Boy, you're really set up here. And it doesn't feel like you can do anything about it. It's too late. By the time you recognize you're in the trap, you're in the trap. Wow. I think I'm going to move on from that. That it feels just unnecessary. Really unnecessary. Seems like there could have been an easier way, but it is what it is. It happened. They chose their actions. They chose their behaviors. They showed their hand in a very profound way. In this current energy, you have 6 of Wands. So So in the past, you have Six of Wands in reverse. They thought that you had nothing left in you, that you were used up, that you have no success left in you. And yet here you are, having public success, having a glow up since this past, being celebrated by the people around you, I love this image. They're lighting candles. So someone holds the already lit candle, and the person who needs the light just tips their candle and lights it. It takes nothing from the person who gives the light. It just makes more light. There's something about what you've been up to that's giving light to others. It feels like that's why you're drawing in so much success. It's not just about your public success, but how you are sharing your success with others. Very loving, very supportive. You feel like you're showing up as your authentic self. Okay, so from this vantage point of present time, having success, having a glow up since the past, having people around you who really do understand you, support you, care about you. You're looking at this past injustice with more clarity. Feels like you're seeing things from a head over heart vantage point. It feels like you're reworking the past injustices. And it feels like you're wrapping it up. You're ending a cycle of tolerating injustices, tolerating disrespect. I think that's also why you've been able to achieve success and get to this energy of Six of Wands, is recognizing and calling injustices, not ignoring them. Cutting out anyone who feels comfortable disrespecting you. Letting go of anybody in any environment where they don't care about you. Feels like there's a maturity. Not everybody's going to be for you. Not everybody's on your wavelength, and not everybody's going to be for you. Feels like you're working things out in a mature way, head over heart. Not in your emotions like they should, and people should treat this way, and should, could, would. Just accepting the truth and seeing the reality of who people are and how they're showing up, and making your decisions upon the reality of how they're showing up. Feels like you're letting go of people. Everything here is ending a cycle, letting go of people and environments that are unjust. I think you now recognize in a very clear way who's for you and who's not, from what you've gone through in the past. Anything else? Okay. All right. All right. There's someone from your past they're kind of like questioning. They don't understand. Yeah, they don't understand. Blah. They don't understand. They thought that they had control over you in the narrative in the past. They were sure that the game that they were playing, the discarding of you, was foolproof, that you would be decimated, not be able to get back up, out for the count. You'd have no one and nothing. And I feel like in a way their plan worked, but your response was not what they expected. You did not act out of sorts. You figured it out. You figured yourself out. You figured out how to get out of the trap. How to, and not only just get out of the trap, but then to go on and have such public success. And I think having success is one thing, but it's something about you publicly having a glow up. It doesn't match with what was said about you. It doesn't feel like you're even arguing of whatever the story is. What a waste of my time. I'm just going to ignore and cut out people who are in that energy or engaging in that way of being. And so this person from your past is feeling very hopeless. They're stuck. There's a lack of vitality. Oh, they're having a challenge around their finances, and they're having also a challenge around people wanting to work with them. People don't want to work with them. That's why. People don't want, they showed, so in the past, this story that was told about you, people believed. And they might have even taken part of the discard of you, spreading of the rumors. You're horrible. Oh my gosh. The viewer is just this awful, terrible person. No energy, no power, can't do anything, ineffectual. Whatever the stories were told about you, how you're showing up in this current energy is proof of who you are. You're not engaging in trying to convince people. You've just gone elsewhere and found your success, and it's working. And there's an icky feeling that people from the past have, seeing the truth, the reality of the situation. That someone very close to you would turn on you, not just say it's over, let's go separate ways, but someone that's, it feels like supposed to be very close and loving, and at some point you were, to be that cruel, create this type of icky, gross, people are recognizing like, wow, if they're willing to do that to someone that's really close, then what are they going to do to me if they perceive that I've crossed them? Oh my gosh. The same game, I know it's not a game, but it's an activity that this person created in the past for you, very painful discard. The lies, deception. This person, you're not the first person they've played this with. It feels like they might do this at work with others in friend groups. For some, it's at work. And they're being seen. They can't, they're not learning anything new. They just okay. Yeah, this person is getting caught. They've played this game not just with you, but with someone else. And they're getting caught, and people are pulling their energy away. It's not a good look. It's gross. punitive, cruel, unnecessarily. Yeah, people are really uncomfortable with the truths that are coming out, with the reality of who this person really is. It feels like someone's no longer allowing this, but someone's stepping up, someone's stepping forward and calling attention to this person and their activities. And it feels like everybody's very nervous about this. It feels like there's a lot of enablers and flying monkeys, people who've enjoyed this type of activity. And then there are those that didn't realize that what this person was capable of until now. There's some type of shift in the environment around this person. They're being seen. And there's just this like, oh my gosh. Wow. All right, let's look at what's hidden. We've got the Hierophant. A contract, listening to your higher self, staying aligned with your higher self. Definitely staying aligned with your higher self is how you got through this to where you are now. Nice. Beautiful. Oh, this is an Uno reverse with the Wheel of Fortune coming up. There's a lot of truths coming out. You know, it's interesting. It feels like this feels very validating for you. I feel like you've moved on. You don't need anything from the past to have success going forward. The justice is you removing yourself from that environment, protecting yourself, and having success. But there's some type of, by you maintaining your alignment and speaking the truth and walking in truth, that you're shifting the narrative. It doesn't even feel like you're having to do it. Like you're not trying to tell a story, you're just being the story. You're embodying, you've integrated. It feels like if your story has been one of victimization and people being cruel to you, it feels like you've already changed the narrative. I know how to take care of myself. I love myself. I've learned discernment. And through discernment, I've learned how to allow people close to me, how to trust myself and trust in my discerning capabilities to allow friends close to me. And so it feels like with whatever's happening in the public eye, is it Uno reverse. You're being supported, you're being cared for, and this other person is being abandoned. Whatever they wanted for you and for whoever they played all this, it feels like they've played this game with a lot of people. Feels like you did not agree to the trap. You did not go away. You did not allow what this person said about you to dictate how you show up. I don't think they were expecting this from you. They weren't expecting you to be able to find success after such a painful discard of you. It doesn't feel like very many people can make a comeback or have. It feels like this person has been able to decimate other people. but not you. And so now, boy, they're not happy. Everything's being exposed. Not everything, that's too much. A lot of their behavior is being exposed. It feels like more people that feel comfortable talking about the cruelty that this person creates, the more people that step forward, then more people show up. Someone might be reaching out to you to let you know this is happening. If you're not privy, if you're disconnected from this environment, it feels like someone might reach out and say, hey, there's a bunch of us. Why are they coming? It feels like they're coming forward to find common ground, to validate that this person is this way. Feels like you could validate a lot for this. But this person from your past is just grieving. They don't know what to do. They're so caught. It feels like this person, boy, they're stubborn. They feel a little in their own reality at this point. Okay. Oh, it looks like you've already turned your back on this whole story, this person. You're focusing on your options, and it's new. God, there's a lack of care. I don't even want to deal with this, almost like, Yep. It feels validating that others are seeing this, but it feels like you validated this for yourself. I see who this person is. I know how they are. I don't need to convince anyone else. And what's interesting is you're focusing on your options right now, and it's a lot of new energy. Ace of Cups, Ace of Inspiration. It's a nice footnote, I think, validating, having others see this, but it doesn't feel like you're hooked in. It feels like you're already kind of moved on. Looking at new energy, new. This is so old. This is boring. Yes, that's him. That's her. That's them. That's how they behave. Yep, I can validate that. That's part of the experience, but it doesn't feel like you're going backwards into the mire. It might be helpful for you to validate others that, yes, that is my experience with this person, and I want to validate, that's very painful. And so it feels like people coming together and sharing, which is interesting because the Six of Wands, where we started in this present energy, giving each other light, sharing that light, the light of truth, validating each other, caring about each other. And again, wow. I think it helps realize validating each other's experience with someone creates a light of hope in a real hopeless situation. All right, moving on to the outcome and advice. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Letting go of an old story. That's the second time the Four of Pentacles in reverse has shown up. It feels like this is a nice footnote for some of you. You know, it's so nice that this came out, but it doesn't feel like it's got your main focus. Yeah, it feels like you've already walked away from this. You've already healed from this. It does feel like if you're interested in helping others receive justice so they understand, so you can share your wisdom from this experience, there is an opportunity here to share your voice. You wouldn't have to force a narrative. It feels like just sharing communication, if that inspires you. Yeah, it feels like, again, the World card coming through, it feels like it's just an ending, wrapping up this story with a nice bow. It's cooked, it's done, putting it behind you. You feel kind of complete about it. It's healing to help others. It's healing to have others validate their experiences. Just as long as you don't kind of go back into all the woundedness of it. It feels like if you can maintain your groundedness, your stability, then that would be helpful. And whether you want to participate in this is up to you and to what degree you want to. It does seem that you can help people with the Hierophant showing up in what's hidden. A lot of time the Hierophant is a teacher, an authority. And it feels like you might be able to shed some wisdom because you've been able to heal from this. So, all right, very interesting reading. Hope that was helpful. Take care.